Welcome to the BEAM&Flow podcast. This is a nitty-gritty exploration of your body, energy, awareness, movement, and flow. I'm your host, Chloé, and I am so excited to deep dive into all of the ways you get to create a life that feels like summer camp. This podcast is about exploring that possibility in your body, in your awareness, in your energetic exchanges, in your finances, in your relationships. We are looking at how to have a life that feels like summer camp. So buckle up, baby. Vamos! Hola, familia. So I wanted to provide a little update as to why you're not seeing video with this episode, even though we did record it. I purchased a new camera and I'm still getting used to it. And after I was done recording, I went to hit stop or hit the recording button to stop. And apparently, if you leave your thumb on the button for half a second too long, the entire file goes away, lost in the ether forever. So, while you will not be able to see my face for this episode, we do have the audio recording because I recorded that on a separate device. So, we will be back with video for the rest of the season, but I wanted to make sure that we got this episode out to you because it is so good and I'm so excited to share it with you. Let me know what you think. Hasta luego. Buenas, familia. I am so excited to be on our 9th season. This is 2 years of BEAM&Flow, the podcast, and I'm just so thrilled that we're still here and I'm still inspired and we're still connected. And these conversations are really nourishing me. And I have been hearing from you how much they're nourishing you, which just fills my heart with joy. That's the whole point. So this season, we're going to do things a little bit differently. Normally, our seasons are 4 episodes dedicated to one theme or one subject, different takes on said theme or subject. And most of our episodes have been interviews with a couple of solo episodes sprinkled throughout. This season is going to be all solo episodes. And I'm going to be totally honest with you. Part of that is because I have been in a season of exploration and reconnecting into my flow and my femininity. And with that, I have had very little desire for deadlines and being accountable to things. I've been feeling more led to inspire and encourage and create space. So with that, it kind of threw off my typical producing schedule of locking down guests. And last month I was like, well, I have a couple of choices. I can definitely still find guests and get something going, or I can embrace the season that I am in and share that with you all, and with the intention that by me really being truthful and vulnerable and authentic, that the messages that are most meant to serve you will come through. And so if you're curious why this season feels a little bit different, I wanted to set that up for you here at the top. So what will this season be? This season is going to be an exploration of the first part of BEAM&Flow. So for those of you who are OGs, you know this already, but BEAM is actually an acronym for Body, Energy, Awareness, Movement. And then we have Flow. But the idea being that we need the structure of our body, energy, awareness, movement, like all of those being aligned in order to be in flow. And flow can be creative flow, flow can be financial flow, Flow can be relational flow, sensual flow, sexual flow. Flow is the state of being in acceptance and forward momentum, right? It's very rare that you have a backwards flow. Normally when things flow backwards, they're getting kind of caught, right? So we want free flow. So before we can talk really about flow, we want to talk about the structure. And what I have definitely come to really embody and know in my bones is that you need structure for flow. None of us are only one thing, right? I am a woman. I am an adult female human, and I have very feminine energetics. I also have masculine energies within me. And if you're a man watching this, you have feminine energies as well as masculine energies. And each of us is a little bit more, I would say, naturally leans more towards one energetic versus the other. It doesn't mean we don't have the capacity to have both or to work with both. It means that we naturally flow or lean towards one piece of the energetic spectrum. I tend to be more lit up. See, even my movement, I was like, what am I doing? Yeah, that's where the thought comes, is from my movement. I get more lit up and more joyful and more playful when I am in my feminine. Now, I can be amazing in my masculine. And in fact, the masculine can be quite addicting because it's all about accomplishment. It's all about direction, solving the problem that's in front of you, and then the next one, and then the next one, and then the next one. And as someone who grew up with a single mom until I was almost 13, I have seen so much of women being in their masculine. I grew up with that. And so it's very easy for me to tap into my masculine. It's very easy for me to be going so hard during the day that I I I lose focus of anything else other than the task of what's right in front of me. But if I stay too long in that energetic, my body doesn't like it. And how do I know my body doesn't like it? I have experienced more inflammation. For me, my inflammation is pretty much directly targeted in my pelvis. I can get spasms of pelvic pain much more easily when I am focused in my masculine energy. When it's go, 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 accomplish, 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 my body tightens. I think probably to feel like it is grounded and sturdy enough to be in that masculine energy. And some other ways that I know that my body doesn't like that for very long, my sleep patterns change. When I'm very in my masculine, the cats wake me up to feed them at 5 a.m. They start trying to wake me up at 3:30 a.m., which is ridiculous. But I will wake up and feed them by 5 a.m. And then if I'm in my masculine, I will be like, okay, so now we're going to meditate, and then we're going to do the body work, and then we're going to do the pelvic floor work, and then we're going to journal, and then we're going to write for 20 minutes, and I will have my day structured. So like every minute of the day, there's something to do. And so I'm up at 5 and I'm going. And I can do that, like I said, really well for a period of time. And I can get very addicted to doing that. But I can't stay there. I can't sustain it for very long. When I go for more than a couple of weeks, at the most a couple of months, I'm like, I need to do nothing. I need to drop everything. Let's burn everything down and start over. And that's not where I like to be. I don't like to be in the burning down phase all the time. I like to be creating. And destruction is definitely part of creation. but it's not the part that I want to be living in all the time. So when I'm in my more feminine, energetic body, I feel much less pressure and inflammation in my pelvis. I feel like I have more energy throughout the day because when I'm in my masculine, by like 2 or 3 p.m., I'm done. You can't get anything else out of me. When I'm in my feminine, or more so in my feminine, I will still wake up at 5 to feed the cats, but then I'll go back to sleep for a couple of hours. And what I've been doing actually recently, which I will talk more about in the awareness episode, but what I've been doing more recently is I wake up and I feed the cats, I go back to bed, and then I meditate for 30 minutes. I usually have a guided meditation that I use. Um, and it's really nice because I get the meditation done, but I actually get the benefit of meditation in my body when I'm quite relaxed early in the day before anything has started. And it actually helps me fall back asleep for about an hour and a half or so. So normally I wake up between like 7:15 and 7:45. If I'm on my bleed, it's later. But I don't wake up with an alarm clock. I wake up when my body naturally wants me to wake up. And that feels so great when I'm in my feminine. And when I'm really in my feminine, like for example, yesterday was the perfect feminine day for me. Like just delightful. I went back to bed after I fed the cats, did my meditation, slept until like 8:15, which is wild because I'm not near my bleed. So I was like, wow, my body, it's been a very, very full last couple of weeks, and my body definitely needed the rest. So I slept in, I woke up, and I did this sort of putzing around the house all day. I made breakfast. I'm doing this like face massage program. So I did my face massage for over an hour. I was on the Stairmaster for half an hour. I did like all of my PRI work and my energetic work on my body. I did my pelvic floor work, and it was just slow, slow. Oh, that's what I want to flow into next. I'm going to do that. Oh, I'm going to do that. Oh yeah, that sounds good. And it got to be like 3 o'clock, and I had done nothing except love on my body all day. And I was soaking some veggies and I was cooking, but nothing was like, okay, this is the time that I'm doing this. This is the time to cook. This is the time to do my body work. This is the time to do my face massage. No, it was just kind of like, I have all day. It's a snowy day. It's the winter solstice. I get to reflect all day and just be like, mm, mm, ah, oof. It was so nice. So that is an example of a very feminine day for me. A lot of times, my days are a little bit of a mix of both. So, for example, today is more of a masculine day. I woke up early. I had a lot to do that I wanted to do today that I'm excited to do. And so I got up and I did my structured routine to rise, to get started with the day. And I've given myself so much time by waking up early and not having a jam-packed day that I've still been able to go slow, to take my time. And the way that feels in my body is like warm and at ease. Like none of my joints are stiff, none of my muscles are sore. I feel at peace and at ease in my body. And I really wanted to kind of offer these two examples of ways of moving through your day when it comes to taking care of your body. Because I think we can, especially if you're, in this sort of wellness, spirituality, self-development space, we can get caught up in doing one thing, one routine all the time. This is it. This is what I have to do. If I don't do it, I'm somehow not good enough. Like, can we just drop that? Can we drop that? We're going into 2025. Let's drop the shoulding all over ourselves. Yeah? Like, we don't have to should on ourselves anymore. We are able to do so many things. We shouldn't be shoulding on ourselves. So in my body, in my relationship to my body, with my body, I look at it as a practice of devotion. I live a very clean life, as a lot of you know. I don't drink really anymore. I almost never have caffeine. I very rarely have sugar. Um, I wear clean clothes, meaning I'm not putting a bunch of like plastics and polyesters on my body. I have all super clean, healthy cleaning products. I go to sleep super early. Um, I take really good care of my body. And I've talked about this before. I've talked about how I believe the body is a temple and that it's a spiritual practice to be devoted to the health of your body. I think for me, the body has become my body has become my radar for how I'm really feeling. Because here's the thing, your mind can play tricks on you all the time. This is why a lot of my clients come to me from talk therapy, or they're recommended to me by their therapist. And the therapist will say something like, Chloe, I have this client who is brilliant, but she keeps talking herself out of every process. We do that because the mind just wants to keep going, and it will keep us playing the same loops over and over and over again. But the body doesn't lie. The body is only communicating truth. So if I can learn what the signals from my body are and how to tap into them, then I can have a much clearer vision of where I'm at, where I'm going, and I can enjoy each step of getting there. When I don't listen to my body and instead I get distracted by the stories playing out in my mind, I can often feel lost and frustrated and overwhelmed. And so if I'm starting to feel those feelings of frustrated and overwhelmed, and I can feel my breath being stuck in my chest, or I can feel headaches coming on, or for me, like I said, pelvic pain. If I'm starting to feel any of those things, that is an indicator to me that my body's trying to communicate something that my mind has not wanted to hear. And sometimes that has to do with a memory that my body is holding on to that's being triggered by other things that are happening in the present. And that's an opportunity to maybe do some myofascial work. And as for example, let's just say my thumb, right? Actually, let's do a little detour. There we go. Tangent. There we go. We have time for a little tangent. So I was talking about our thumbs. Well, your fingers, let me back up. In Chinese medicine, your ears, your hands, and your feet map to every part of your body, meaning that every part of your body has some connection to some part of your hand, some part of your ear, and some part of your foot. So if you are feeling stressed or overwhelmed or lost, and you don't have time to go get a massage, you can massage yourself, either your hands, your feet, or your ears, and that will actually affect your entire body. What's really interesting about the hands is that your fingers represent different emotional states. So your thumb is worry. Your index finger is fear. Your middle finger is anger. We know that one. Your ring finger is sadness. And your pinky is like nostalgia. So a fun experiment is watch a celebrity on any talk show or watch any interview. If you're in New York and you're on the subway, or if you're in a metropolitan area and you have public transportation, take a look at people riding the subway or on the bus. You'll likely see that they're holding either multiple fingers at a time or one finger, or like they've got their hands clenched. They don't know that what they're doing is soothing their nervous system, but that is in fact what they're doing. So if you notice when you're observing people that they are in an interview and they're holding their thumb, right? Kind of holding their thumb. They might be a little worried. Or if they're talking about a story from the past that's like not the best story, they might hold their two fingers like this. So fear and anger coming up as they're talking about the story. So if you wanted to work on your hand, right? You can work on your hand, and that's going to affect your whole body. And if you can start to notice what your body is naturally wanting to hold at different points in the day. So if you're sitting and you notice, for me, my thumb has been the biggest culprit. It's gotten so much better over the years. But 12, 13 years ago when I started this work, I noticed that I was holding my thumb all the time, but I was doing it in a special way because I'm special, I'm unique. I was holding my thumb in between my index finger and my middle finger like this. So I would have it kind of like a fist, and my thumb would be in between these two all the time. Like I noticed it happening so much. My worry was literally sandwiched between fear and anger. And as I've worked with my body and noticed the memories and the colors and the sensations that come up that trigger or are related to worry, fear, anger, as I've worked at different trigger points in my body and those memories have come up, I've been able to breathe and clear them. And so now, all these years later, I almost never do this. And when I do, I'm very aware. I'm like, oh, wow, I did that. Okay. I'm worried about something that I'm probably also angry about and scared about what the outcome's going to be. Okay. What is it that I'm worried about? I'll use an example that was something I was worried about, and now I've moved through it. So I was worried about where I'm going to be moving to in June, because I have to move in June. And I did notice that I was doing this a lot because I was scared about what this move is going to be. I was angry about why I had to move. And so in noticing what my body was telling me, the truth that my body was communicating to me, that I was worried, angry, and scared, I was able to breathe and really look deeply at the stories that were coming up around this move. And the beautiful thing about the body for me is that because it's telling us the truth, and because it is always going to guide us towards what is actually for us, when you start to notice the messages that your body is telling you, just by noticing, the body responds. and starts to soften and to unwind and to release the grip on the holding pattern that it's been in, that your nervous system has been in. And so, in recognizing that I felt worried, scared, angry, and that I was doing this, I was able to breathe into, okay, what is the story? What are the stories that are playing out? The stories that are playing out around this are that I am going to be 39 and living alone with my 2 cats and feeling even more isolated than I've felt over the last couple of years. The stories that were playing out in my head were my family doesn't really love me because if they did, this wouldn't be happening. The stories playing out in my head were um, I can't trust. I can't trust anything. Everything's always changing. Once I think I'm grounded, that goes away too. I can't trust. And as I said, these are stories. They're not the truth. And I know that they're stories because the body is naturally open. The body is naturally strong and soft and grounded and free. So if my body is showing me a pattern of this that is clenched and tight and wound up, that's not the natural state of my body. So if these stories are putting my body in a state that is not natural, then these stories cannot be true. They cannot be true. Okay. So stories aren't true. My mind's playing tricks on me. My body's telling me the truth. Okay, what's the deeper truth here, Chloe? What can you hold on to? As you let go, what can you hold on to? And what has come up for me is that in this example, the deeper truth is I am always provided for. I am also incredibly lucky and blessed when it comes to housing situations. I have had months, a year, where I was living in a townhouse, an entire townhouse in Brooklyn, rent free. Okay. I have found great deals, like super low rent on huge apartments in the New York, New Jersey area many, many times. I moved to Mexico and found a house on the Laguna within like 3 days of being there. Every time I have to move, I always level up and I'm always provided for, and it always turns out better than I anticipated. Okay, so if that's what has always happened, why do I think that this time's going to be different? It's not. It's not going to be different. But my mind wants me to believe that it is so that I can stay in this loop. But we're not going to play that game. No, no, no. That's a story. This is what's telling me that's true. I can let go of that. The truth is, I have always been provided for. Every time I move, I level up, and my home has always, always been a sanctuary for me. All right. So that I can let go. I can let go of that and hold on to the truth. What's the next lie, the next story that my mind wants me to believe? My mind wants me to believe that my family doesn't really love me because if they did, this wouldn't be happening. Whew. Okay, let's look at that story. If my family didn't love me, I wouldn't be living with my grandmother right now. If my family didn't love me, I wouldn't be in communication with them. If my family didn't love me, they wouldn't be curious about what's going on in my life and how they can support me. If my family didn't love me, I wouldn't feel so scared about leaving again. If my family didn't love me, I wouldn't have concerns about the lack of physical connection that I might have after I move. If my family didn't love me, it wouldn't be a story. It would be something that I knew as fact. And I can't say that. What I know as fact is that my family does love me. Now, my grandmother specifically and a lot of my family, has very different beliefs than I do. And that's okay. For me, that is more than okay. We all have different ways of understanding God. All have different ways of finding our purpose and being of service on this earth and this life. And I also respect that her beliefs aren't that. And in her beliefs, if I don't believe exactly what she does, then it's a threat to her for me to be living in her home. Okay, she feels threatened. There's some part of her that feels scared and is responding out of fear. And that's okay. That doesn't mean she doesn't love me. It means that is where her soul's evolutionary path is right now. And that's exactly where it should be. That's perfect for her. And the truth is, it's also perfect for me, even in the moments when it feels like anything but perfect. And the last story that had come up that I can't trust. I can't trust anything. I can't trust anyone. I can't trust life. I can't trust God. Well, if that's true, if I really can't trust, then what am I even doing listening to my body? Well, because my body's never lied to me before. My body's never lied to me before. So I can trust my body. Okay, I can trust my body. My body's never lied to me before. Okay, I can trust my body. What else can I trust? Well, my body doesn't lie because it lives in accordance with natural law. It has no other choice but to. So, natural law. Natural law. That's something I can trust. I can trust natural law. I may not always understand or understand natural law, but I can trust it. And in my mind, in my spirit, in my understanding, natural law is love. Natural law is the law of love. Natural law is God. Love is God. Okay, so if love and natural law are God, I can trust God. I can trust the universe. I mean, this whole thing has been happening for billions of years before I came along in this form, in this body. I do believe I've been here in other forms and other bodies, but in this form, in this body, this is my first time here. My only time here in this form, in this body. And I am a piece of a fabric, a story that has been woven since before time. So, do I not trust that the story can continue to play out even when I don't necessarily know what the next chapter brings? Well, it's been playing out this whole time. So I think I can trust that it will continue to play out. Okay. All right. But what if it doesn't play out the way that works for me? What if it doesn't play out in a way that supports me? Body, what do you think about that? What do you think about that story? What do you think about the possibility that my life could turn out in a way that is not supportive to me? I literally feel like my body wants to laugh. Like, that's absurd. That is absurd. Of course, my life is going to play out in the best possible way for me because I choose it. I choose to stay aligned with what is going to serve me best. And I tap into what that truth is through my body by listening to my body. When I see that there's a tightness, even more of a tightness happening in my right sternal cloud of master, my SCM. Okay, that's a sign. I can work with it. I can massage my SCM all day. Okay, and so while I'm hanging out here, what's coming up for me? What's coming up? Oh, that just softened. Huh. Wow, so this thing that's been flared and tight for at least 20 years, it can soften. So maybe some of the stories that I've held on to for over 20 years, maybe they can soften too. Maybe I can massage those into a different, more relaxed state of being. So that's really what I wanted to share today about the body. I wanted to give some real examples from my life about how I check in with my body, how I work with my body to come back to what is true, and how my body has really saved me over and over and over and over again. And I pray that you are able to tap into that divine intelligence that is your body, this living memory system, and that it helps you find your truth again. And if you're curious about how to do that, if you need support, if this is all completely foreign to you and you have no idea how to even get started, please reach out. That's why I'm here. I am here to be a guide and an inspiration and to help you live a life that feels like summer camp, like freedom and joy and play and friendship and community. And that starts in your body. So if you need help with that, DM me. You can find me online at BEAM&Flow. You can also email me, beaming@beamandflow.com. And yeah, I'm so excited to see how this play, this relationship with your body really begins to unfold for you. Queridas, we made it to one of my favorite parts of each episode, the moment of flow. I love poetry, I love words and rhythm, and how when you mix the two, you get into a beautiful state of flow. And so I want to leave you with that at the end of each episode. So here it is, your moment of flow. Body consciousness. What comes up, swimming through our skin and our cells and our blood, is magic. This body is a living memory system. This body is creation in and of itself. This body is the portal for the divine to experience life on earth. This body is a miracle. This body is sexy. This body is playful. This body is whole. This body has everything it needs to heal and live a life that is fully free. This body is the key to sovereignty.